he's done his job.
Joel Smith has picked up Barry Hall at full-back.
So we're set to go on the Heritage Weekend round here at the SCG. Round 19. Can the Swans pop back into the top 4? And can Hawthorn keep their season alive?
Yes, a couple of weeks at least.
This is Rees. Straight up the middle. Looking for and finding Hodge. Now he can go wider and does. Out to the run of Loney. Into the side. Long ball.
We've got to stop watching those young ladies behind the goals who have been there for 50 years.
All those
they all went up.
From St Clair said, please give him a plug. Here's Everett on the stretch, takes it. Mitchell wanted it, he was ignored, rockets the ball to Vandenberg. Backs himself in, he's on the charge, runs to 50. Vandenberg closes the 45 as well. This time, kicks a goal.
Well, what a turnover, KB. They moved the ball down. O'Loughlin kicks a point, and it just shows sides are set up. Everett from the wing, a 25-metre handball. He marks it here in front of Goods. Had to take the arms away. Good rebound. He looks fresh at the moment, but I tell you, it'll tell. And look at Richie Vandenberg running the lines. He's playing on Paul Williams. Takes, balances up. Smart play. Ran as close to goals as possible. Great conversion.
Wonderful start to Vandenberg, the first goal, and Hawthorn 3 points in front. Very quick transfer of play for that first goal. Everett, they all went early. Matthews, high ball, here comes Hall, couldn't quite get it, and it falls into his arms, gives it out to Roberts-Thompson, back to Matthews who's run on, good smother. It's not out of danger that, Matthews again. Loney, under pressure from Schneider, Osborne. Didn't get it far. Maxfield around the corner. Only as far as Pachoni for Hawthorn. He's over to Rees. To Crawford. Again, Hawthorn goes straight up the middle. Promising. To Williams on a lead. Now open forward line. For Rawlings on a lead.
Taken by Shawble. This is where the Swans can break quickly. Matthews has got to beat Hodge. It's tied up in the tackle. There's no free kick and we've got a boundary throw in.
Luke Hodge playing across half back now, KB. He's moved there in the last month or so for Hawthorn. He just reads the play so well and he's got beautiful disposal.
Everett. Back after 7 weeks on the sidelines. Swans trying to keep the ball alive. Hodge again, clever play. Puts his body on the line. Rees, much improved player, across to Dixon. 12 and 6, the Sydney Swans are in 4th spot, leading into this Heritage round. And the Hawks 8 and 10 in 10th spot. But still a chance to make the finals this year after a very poor start. Green is a ball carrier. Again, a poor kick, needing a kind bounce. Is Hodge, took it with clean hands, finds Thompson, just pushes off Stevens. Now the run comes. It's going to go very close. It's going to actually bounce through for a behind.
Fitness staff were keeping Peter Everett warm. He's only just sat down after about 5 minutes coming off. Obviously, with his hamstring, it's very imperative that they keep that warm before he comes back on.
Rawlings takes a very good mark, so he'll drive it back in for the Hawks. They're down by a point. On the lead and getting it nicely is Lekas. Well-weighted kick by Rawlings.
He's a good player, and this man, hasn't he had an impact in the forward line for Hawthorn as a smaller player? Angelo Lekas kicked bags of 2s and 3s every week. 3 last week against Port Adelaide. Normally a defender, or started his career as a small defender, pushed into the midfield, now he's turned it right around. A goal kicking forward. 28 goals 8, Tony, so he's been very accurate. So we've probably put the muzzle on him here. But this to put the Hawks back in front. Not that
straight through. Wonderful finish by Lekas. And the Hawks have the lead again. And as you mentioned, Tony, I guess they're playing a smarter footy at the moment.
Well, they are. Look, they've got Dixon playing off halfback, nearly as a loose man in defence. And they're just starting from the middle of the ground. Rees is in there. Mitchell, who's been a fantastic player. But this man here, Lekas, he knows how to find space. He's a smart player. And as you said, his accuracy is brilliant this season.
Angelo Lekas on screen, 2-2-14 the Hawks. The Swans 1-3-9.
They've been impressive, KB, the Hawks early.
Well, they've had a pretty good second half of the season, haven't they, Hawthorn? performance last week was absolutely first class. And they've brought back all the big guns tonight. They realise just how important it is. Here's Mitchell, one of their best players also in recent weeks. Sam Mitchell, he's a ball winner, gets it across the green, who just hammers the ball in deep. Williams in front, and this young man is a live wire. He's kicked 5 goals in just 9 games, but he looks dangerous.
I think he kicked 3 or 4 last week. He kicked 3 against Gavin Wanganeen. So if you can kick 3 against a player of Gavin Wanganeen's ability, and here he just leads out well. Jared Crouch, who normally is an on-baller tagger, wouldn't be like playing at full back for the Swans.
Well, Crouch is one of the best taggers in the business, and he's very, very quick. Won the grand final sprint. Williams from 48 metres. He likes it. And the Maybloons have goal number 3.
The Maybloons. They were also called the Mustard Pots at one time.
Lord,
the Mustard Pots at one time in their career. That was their name. And the Maybloons. But there he is, Mark Williams. And he's an unlikely type. Look at Sam Mitchell, in and under, free kick for over the shoulder. Gee, he's been the best at hardball gets at Hawthorn this season by far. And Williams, how he can get that space on the lead. Jared Crouch, as I said, does not like playing as a tagger from out of the goal square.
Williams continues his good form for the Mustard Pots.
As he puts the back on?
They were definitely the Maybloons back in 1925 when they came to the competition.
I know that for a fact. There was a trivia question they had one night. The Mustard Pots at some time in their history.
Well, the Hawks are in front by 11 points, and they're doing well. Sydney, though, in attack. Hall, right with him, Smith, and works it nicely. Couldn't panic. Throws it on the left. Leckers the target.
Chicklet taken by Stevens. Here's Kirk. What a season. Tumbles the ball back. Dangerous kick. Taken by Osborne. Punishing left foot kick. Finds Pachoni's. It's on the half-back flank. Green wants it short. Leckers was on a long lead. That's been ignored. Getting back Saddington. They run the ball. Great smother off the boot that time. That came from Loney. Here's a chance now. Big Bad Barry goes short. Looking for Kirk out in front. Couldn't take it. Ground level. Hodge finds Osborne. A couple of youngsters combined to Mitchell. Centre of the ground at the SCG. Here comes Rawlings in front of Barry. Again, was he interfered with? No free kick. Crunch. Fearless Fosdyke went down. Vandenberg playing in front. Kept his body on the line. Ties up Crouch. Come back onto the ground. Heads to the centre square. Hodge with strength. Feeds the ball off to Dixon. He's on centre wing. Penetrating.
Thompson and Hall. Thompson to Dixon. Nice knock. Graham, a little bit of time. Measures the kick nicely. Out to a good lead from Clark.
The way they've ran the ball this quarter, they'll be pretty tired by the last quarter. You'd think they'd want to have a fair lead.
Goes for distance and tumbles it over the end. And fortunately for Hawthorn, Mitchell was just standing there. And the ball almost fell into his arms. Mitchell now. There's Rawlings on a long lead. Got away from Barry. Fine kick from Mitchell to his advantage so he could run onto it. And Rawlings just held up his lead nicely and took the mark.
What about Sam Mitchell, KB? I think it's a great story in that he was discarded so many times, put onto the rookie list and then made it. He's a ball magnet. He watched the ball in that marking contest when it was a bad kick. But the thing about it is I think it gives confidence to other players who are built like him, not super quick, but can get the ball.
And he leads the clearances for Hawthorn and the centre clearances.
By
He's
far.
in and under. Rawlings missed one earlier. Got that one. Another goal to Hawthorn.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell's one of those players. He won the Liston Trophy with 10 best on ground performances from 11 games, but then just couldn't still make his mark with Hawthorn. But this year he's just taken a huge step, hasn't he? In the starting 4, in that centre square, wins a lot of the ball and can use it very well. He's not the doesn't look to be the quickest player, but he's sort of
smart.
He's smart. He's built like and plays a bit like Creswell and Williams and those sorts of players. Just knows how to win the ball, and he's got good body strength.
Well, the thing about our game, we keep saying there's so many stoppages. You've got to have a player who's good at it. And I think Jude Bolton's taken the spot maybe of a Darren Creswell coming to the end of his career for the Swans. Now Sam Mitchell's put his hand up for the Hawks.
Peter Swab on the blower. 4-2-26 the Hawks. Sydney 2-3-15. Lead by 11 points. They've had 4 individual goal kickers. Lewis, Roberts, Thompson in the ruck. There's Mitchell. Speak of the devil. Tied up in the tackle by Fearless Fosdyke. The boundary throw-in is 35 metres around from Hawthorn's goal. Thompson to do the ruck work. Finds Mitchell. It's an absolute ball magnet. Back to Vandenberg. Enjoying a good first quarter. High ball. Rawlings looks dangerous. Got his hands on the ball. Couldn't take it. Caught was Leo Barry. It's tough in close. Les Mitchell again bounces off like a pinball machine. Couldn't quite take it. Here's Crawford. Strong tackle. And falling on top is Mitchell. He means business.
Well, have a look at his build too, KB. He can take some punishment, Sam Mitchell. He's built, fairly solidly, I would say.
Likes
short to the ground.
Likes it in the clinches.
Nick Fosdyke's got to tighten up.
Up the line towards centre wing. Not a good kick. In fact, out of bounds on the full. As Luke Hodge decides that he doesn't really need to be on the bench at the minute. They did that well then, Hawthorn. They spread wide and they zoned off. They forced the error.
Well, Matty, at this ground, if you're in the midfield, you want to force your player right to the wing because it's so wide the ground, but it's very short, straight up the middle from goal to goal.
This is Johnson. That is a penetrating kick in towards Rawlings over the back. Couldn't quite mark it. Bolton. Fosdyke slams it onto the boot towards O'Loughlin. Graham did well. He's going to be wrapped up. Ball spills free. Umpire decides he can play on from there. Bolton out to Maxfield. Searching handball forward, only as far as Graham for Hawthorn. Back through the middle. This is Loney. Players out wide everywhere for Hawthorn. Here's Mitchell. Is he off? No. Benefit of the doubt to Sam Mitchell, having a fine first quarter, lays it off to Lekas. Good work once again by the Hawks.
He is having a brilliant first quarter. That's his 8th possession. As I said, Nick Fosdyke has to man up. Matter of fact, Fosdyke tried to tackle in the middle of the ground and then went to ground, so that meant that Sam Mitchell could push forward.
He's doing a good job early in the game. Fosdyke comes away from half back, just wobbles the ball in, looking for Creswell. Roberts Thompson crunched that time by Hodge. He's a strong tackler. Well, Crawford's just had the 1 kick so far, and Kirk's had 5 possessions.
Well, you keep up that average, and you're going to do your job by the end of the night. Maybe sneak a couple of goals on Crawford.
Kirk thought he hadn't lost it. Bolton tried to crash his way through. Flexed the muscles and blew up the biceps. Here's a chance now for Creswell. Comes away from half back. Centre of the ground, Dixon. Out in front of Davis. Marks on his chest. He's made the transition from forward line to back line. He's got good skills across there. Here's Vandenberg. Pumps the ball in. Getting back is Peter Everett. That was a wonderful kick. Everett running onto space. Didn't even have to break stride. Should kick a goal.
Well, good hard forward running by Peter Everett. I think he's got to do this a lot more in his career. He should be kicking a lot more goals. And there's Adam Goods. You can just see Adam Goods following in there. 37. Bad defensive play.
Big spider from just 20 metres out. Kicks a goal. Well, such a dangerous player up forward. Do you remember the time when Timmy Watson played him at full forward for a couple of weeks, and one game I think he kicked 8, and the following week he kicked, maybe 7. He can kick goals. He can be a huge danger up forward when you're about 6'7". He's got great skills. He's agile. You would think he should be able to kick a lot of goals during the course of a game.
Listen, their forward line though, the Swans, the Hawks are doing a good job.
Smith looks for Everett. Like a match practice, should have taken the mark. Here's Mitchell. He's strong in the tackle. He'll be very tired when the game's over, Sam Mitchell. He'd be good as a knot man in a tug-of-war team, wouldn't he? He'd be a beauty this season. He's mainly played at centre-half forward, and he's been terrific for the Swans. Here's Dixon. May have found his niche in defence. Hammers the ball back, looking for a kind bounce. Was Rawlings, got an ugly one. Bolton was the tackler. It's a hurried kick. Vandenberg closes quickly. He's quick and strong. Backs himself in. He's got Matthews to beat. Now he's having second thoughts. Didn't realise the Swans were going to be this good. It's a poor kick. Mitchell caught up in the tackle by Davis and Williams. We've got a ball up on 50.
Normally it's your wife tells you.
Trying to make Everett pay. Chipping in nicely though. Crawford getting in the way of the lead. Starting to get some disposals. Kick out in front of Big Spider.
So he can get his left foot into action. So there's plenty of hand signals from the Hawks. So he decides to kick long. Time for the high flyers. Here's Holland. He's spent most of the game on the bench. Along with Barker, here's Kirk. Caught in the tackle that time by Crawford. Here's Holland. Going for a trot. Runs the 50. It was a centering kick looking for Thompson's got him. Well, Nathan Thompson hit the post in the first quarter from just 25 metres out. This is a big kick for the Hawks.
Well, Nick Holland, I think it was just as close as Thompson, as you can see here, just on the 50-metre arc, and he's kicked it back to about 45 metres out. Disciplined play by the Hawks. They're on top of their game.
Thompson's a big kick from right on 50, stands his ground and bangs it through.
Well, the thing about the Hawks, KB, no doubt Peter Schwab has got a strategy of starting all their plays from the back half. They have just got numbers back. They know that the ball's going to O'Loughlin and Hall most of the time. There's Sam Mitchell again. Out to Holland now. That is an amazing kick when you have to kick the ball and centre it. You turn that over, it goes down the other end. That's how much they're on top of their game tonight. Very confident in each other. And Nathan Thompson converts. They've got 4 players playing in the ruck, which gives them a lot of flexibility.
This is Loney, who got it from Smith. There's Hodge. Back to Loney on his left foot. Beautiful kick.
This boy's very quick, Williams.
In turn, he was looking for Lecker, saw Rawlings, and that is a great movement of the footy by the Hawks. Rawlings wants to get it in there quickly. Thompson is the target. Ball drops short. Big spoil from Adam Goods. It falls in the hands of Johnson. He gets on his left. He's inside 50. He kicks it long and straight and through. Goal. Great finish by Johnson. He knew what he was on about. He just wanted to get on his left, and he knew he could kick it.
They've got a good structure, Tony. If they can get Barker back fit, and they've got Holland back fit, and Everett, and then you throw in Thompson, and you throw in Rawlings as well, they've got some firepower and some ruck strength.
Oh yes, and as I said, that ruck rotation tonight, they're changing every 5 to 7 minutes, knowing that those players hadn't played. Everett for 6 or 7 weeks, Holland the same. It's working at the moment. The Swans under pressure.
Well, the Hawks by 28 points, 7-4-46, 2-6-18. And the Hawks are starting to chant around the ground. Sydney's trying to respond. Thompson's in the ruck against Goods. He's going to come charging in. Got his hands on the ball. Bolton working hard. Strong tackling by Hawthorn tonight. They've been fantastic. Here's Crawford, caught without the ball. Will take the free kick. To Vandenberg, to Mitchell. They've been tough and strong. Runs to 50. Sam Mitchell is killing the Swans. He's unstoppable, Sam Mitchell. He's had it 10 times.
Well done to Shane Crawford there. Was going to get a free kick here. Tackled by Goods, but then he threw him after the ball was displaced. And they just keep moving the ball forward. They know that the Swans are struggling with the chasing. And Sam Mitchell, stellar game. 11 possessions, 1 goal, and all the hard stuff that we've seen tonight. This game could be blown out within the next 5 minutes of this game, KB. Another 2 goals, it's over.
Hawks by 34 points. Real danger time now for Sydney. The momentum all with Hawthorn. And Mitchell has been outstanding. He's in there looking for a tackle. There it is. Sweat it off on Williams. Another bounce. Oh, nice knock down to Mitchell. He managed to get it inside 50 for the 6th time in the game. Out comes Nick Holland. Handball to the run of Crawford. Can the captain kick another one for the Hawks? No, he can't. Sydney still yet to kick a goal in this 2nd quarter. They may not get out of trouble here. Again, an error. Williams this time. Looked up, didn't get any support. Loney comes in eventually. Here's Johnson for another one. Yes, indeed. Tony, you said 2 more and it could be over. There's one of them.
There's one of them. And I would say, no doubt, another goal, and this game would be over coming up to half-time. You just have to look at the Swans and say, where are they going to get a spark?
Sydney get the crowd involved with their first goal of the quarter. Perhaps to stop the run of Hawthorn, but not the skipper. Crawford. Dixon tapped it back towards him. Cox is now on the ground. Green, Thompson, Crawford. Not his best kick. Ends up in the hands of Williams.
just starting to get more of the ball now.
Yep.
Shane Crawford goes down looking for Holland, brings the ball to the ground, pounced on that time by Green. To Loney, the run comes. Chance now for Clark, the centre half forward, looking for Williams. Dangerous player. You've got all those tools up there. Mark Williams for the Hawthorn side. And he chases very hard and he's caused a turnover. Goes to Cox. Toe pokes it off the ground. Having to go hard is Leo Barry. Leaping Leo at ground level. Caught that time by Williams. He's a great chaser and a good tackler. It's a hot ball taken by Crouch outside of 50. Kicks a high ball. Here comes Lewis Roberts-Thompson. He's beaten for the mark. Beaten by Thompson. So the Hawks have the ball. Nathan Thompson out marking Roberts-Thompson.
KB, this is where Hawthorn's done it well defensively.
Just under 4 minutes left in this second quarter. Barry Hall, he'll go hard at Holland. They've got the number. Spider caught in the tackle. Somehow got the ball towards Joel Smith. He wasn't keen to actually take control.
Oh, it's on. Nick Holland and Barry Hall.
It's a boundary throw in. Everett to do the ruck work. He's so good with his hands. Pinched by Davis now off the ball. Shepherding. It's a free kick going to Barry Hall.
Oh,
Dear me.
Come on, umpire. I thought he did it well when he said throw the ball in. It was just a bit of a scuffle. You know, these are the things that cause a lot of frustration from supporters. Here we are, Barry Hall. See if there's something there. Well, oh, come on.
I reckon there might have been something before that.
Well, we hope so.
KB, I was watching very closely. I had my eye on those two. There was
Nothing.
Here he goes again.
There it is.
It's a beauty. To Mitchell. Crawford knew it was coming too, didn't he? Over the back.
Here's Everett again. Yep. This time tried to take it out
Too
there
easy.
himself. Vandenberg at the front with strength. Had it and lost it. Here's Mitchell. They're both good in close. Clark, quick snap. I think he's kicked a goal. He's kicked a goal. It's a big goal for the Hawks. Close to half-time. Not really noted as a goal kicker. That's his first goal for the season. So he'll be a happy young man. And it's 10-5-65. Hawks by 35 points. Sydney 4-6-30.
9 goal kickers, and Sam Mitchell again was the one who got the ball out, but Peter Everett, as you said, is dominating. Have to get Adam's goods back on the field, I think. 9 goal kickers to 3. It just shows they're shutting down the defensive end, Hawthorn. As I said, it's a strategy. Get numbers back, and they just run forward. Peter Everett's having a purple patch.
Well, they're getting plenty of goals out of their midfield too, aren't they? You know, we've got Mitchell running through the lines. Johnson's got a chuckle. Clark. Here's Everett. Bolton, though, for Sydney. Kirk. I was thinking about Maxfield or Creswell. This is Matthews. Back to Roberts-Thompson. To Bolton inside the last minute of the first half. On the lead, O'Loughlin. Perhaps too far out to score a goal there.
Look at the Hawthorn have got plenty of numbers back.
1-on-1, that's what Barry Hall wants it. Doesn't get the distance. In the way, Hodge to beat Stevens. Green gives it to Vandenberg. High ball, not a good kick. Into the crowd. Maxfield kicks the ball a long way. Hall with Smith. Over the back, Everett. Smith, again the percentages. To Loney, did well. Released him. Loney can run. Away he goes to the defensive 50. Long searching kick to no avail as the siren has sounded. And what a great second quarter by Hawthorn. They kicked 6 goals to Sydney's 2. At half-time, they lead 10-5-65. The Swans 4-6-30.